Welcome to the channel, all of you. Welcome to the Wire MBA channel. Now, in this video, I am going to discuss the types of RC that you can expect in CAT 2024. Now, I know all of you are gearing up for your preparations with respect to CAT, and in this video, I am going to discuss the different types of RC that you might come across, and this is going to help you a lot with your preparation. So, make sure you watch this till the end and do let us know your doubts in the comment section below. So firstly, what are the different types of RC passages that you can expect? So firstly, you need to include RC passages from different academic resources because there are a lot of passages which are from humanities, from technology, from business entrepreneurship, innovation, social sciences, all the different genres of text might come in as a part of your RC passages. Now, it may also be factual or opinion based. So factual is when you are getting the facts produced the way it is, and opinion based is when the author has his or her own opinion involved. The level of difficulty can differ from moderate to high. So when it comes to CAT, we generally can expect the level of difficulty to be high for 3 of the 6 passages or moderate for the 3 of the 6 passages. So you have to make sure that you're prepared to solve the most difficult passages also. Moving on to the first type, which is narrative passage. Now, narrative is anyways the most common, and this is when the passage is in first person. For example, I was there to witness the heavy rainfall. I was there to witness the thunderstorm. So, जब ऐसे लिखा हुआ होता है, that means it's narration. That is personal experience का narration होता है या personal opinion involved होता है. So, novels, anecdotes, and autobiographies. Autobiographies are जब आत्मकथा अपने बारे में खुद लिखते हैं, history, these are written in narrative style. So if you want to practice reading more narrative passages and understanding or comprehending them, then you must resort to these different resources. Now, how do you identify and solve through these passages? So firstly, you need to identify the main ideas conveyed in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. So what happens जब एक passage दिया होता है, वो generally 3 paragraphs में divided होते हैं. What you need to do is you need to pick up the first paragraph. After reading it, you need to summarize it in 1 to 2 sentences. Similarly, with the second paragraph, you will summarize it in 2 or 3 sentences, and the third paragraph. So when you understand the main idea, you will understand and it will get easy for you to solve the questions. Now you should extract the underlying message. So बहुत बार ऐसे होता है, I was there to witness the thunderstorm and it took me back to the old days. So इसमें क्या है? Feeling of nostalgia. So you can somewhere write in brackets nostalgia. ऐसे करके if you write, तो क्या होता है? You get an idea about where the passage is heading and you might have questions from the same. Because this might lead to identification of the tone of the author. So author का tone बहुत important होता है. And this is something जब कोई बात करता है आपसे, it's very easy to identify. So for example, if I say sit down, so that means I'm saying it very assertively or authoritatively, yeah, as an order. But if I say please sit down, that means it's a request. But ये difficult हो जाता है to understand when it is written in black and white. So इसको कैसे पता चलेगा? When you start understanding the underlying meaning of the passage, it becomes easy for you to identify the tone of the author. Now, the next kind of passage is informative passage. So, informative passage में factual form of writing होता है. So, I told you it's either opinion based or factual based. So, information is when it's based on facts. So, it is more logical and objective. So, things like, recipes, which are very informative, news stories, instruction manuals, research papers, reports, इनमें एक के बाद एक इंफॉर्मेशन होता है. जैसे अगर आप कोई रिपोर्ट उठा के पढ़ोगे, किसी कंपनी की भी पढ़ोगे, उसमें पूरा प्रोसेस दिया होता है कि what did the company do right, what led to the profits, what led them to make losses, because what are the kind of expenses. So it's very informative, it's very heavy on text. And similarly, instruction manuals or recipes. So if you're fond of cooking, you'll know that एक instructional way में लिखा हुआ होता है. So that's when you need to process the information in just the way that it is given. So the best way to start, start acclimatizing yourself with these kind of passages would be if you start reading news reports. Facts and figures may sometimes, अब ऐसे passage में क्या होता है? Confusion create हो सकता है. So you need to focus on the main points and the purpose of the passage. It's also very advisable कि आप पहले questions पढ़ लो, because CAT में क्या होता है? एक तरफ पे आपका passage आता है screen पे और दूसरी तरफ पे questions आते हैं. So you can scroll through the questions over here from that passage and you can read the passage on the side. So better will be if you read the questions so that you know which information do you have to focus on in the passage. And when the questions, most of the questions asked from these kind of passages are direct, मतलब इसका आंसर आपको पैसेज में ही कहीं मिल जाएगा, खुद से अज्यूम या एनालाइज करके या खुद से निकालने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, इसका आंसर डायरेक्टली पैसेज में ही दिया होगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल द की फीचर्स ऑफ अ साइंटिफिक रिसर्च और रिपोर्ट. सो एक साइंटिफिक रिसर्च और रिपोर्ट टाइप का पैसेज दिया रहेगा, उसमें से डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल समथिंग लाइक chat gpt has been described in a particular passage. So what exactly, how would the author describe chat gpt? And then you read the options and you zero onto something that is similar to what is written in the passage. So directly passage में answer कहीं ना कहीं दिया होगा, maybe paraphrase करके answer दिया हो, and you have to choose the right answer. It is still very easy than inference based questions or pick up a title based question. Now, descriptive passage. This is where there is a lot of elaborate and grandeur of language that is used. बहुत detail में किसी एक चीज को describe किया जाएगा. Now, for example, I can describe a book as simply there is a book written by so and so author lying on my table. Can you get it? Or I can describe it as there is a hardbound book which has a green colored cover and the picture of a woman dressed in very heavy refineries, and that has been written by so and so author. It's lying on the left hand side of the table. The table is right when you enter the room through the back door. So एकदम डिटेल में बता दिया गया. So that is descriptive, जब एक ही चीज को बहुत बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोला जाए. It uses a lot of adjectives, adverbs and metaphors to describe the particular object or subject in question. तो टूरिस्ट गाइड्स, जैसे फ्लाइट में जो मैनुअल्स होते हैं या कोई ट्रैवल ब्लॉग आप जब पढ़ते हो, वो पढ़ के मन करता है कि इस जगह पे ट्रैवल करते हैं. सो फॉर एग्जांपल इवन इट्स अ सिंपल प्लेस लाइक मुंबई, सो दे विल डिस्क्राइब मुंबई इन सच अ मैनर कि यू विल फील लाइक अरे यार मुंबई चलते देख कर आते क्या है. सो वेरी नाइस लैंग्वेज यूज एंड इन अ वेरी पॉजिटिव मैनर मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम. Now, if it is in a negative sense, like accident, it can also be described in a very gory manner. मतलब गौरी एज इन वायलेंस या खून खराबा, इन चीज़ों को बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में डिस्क्राइब किया जाए. नाउ पोएम्स आर ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ द डिस्क्रिप्टिव पैसेजेस एंड कैट में ऑफ लेट हमने देखा है कि कम से कम एक पोएम आता ही है आरसी पैसेजेस में. सो डू नॉट गेट डिस्ट्रैक्टेड बाय द फिगरेटिव लैंग्वेज एंड फोकस ऑन द कॉन्टेक्चुअल मीनिंग, दैट इज कि अंडरलाइंग मीनिंग क्या है, एंड आंसर द वोकैबुलरी बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस अकॉर्डिंगली. Now, the best way to answer vocabulary based questions is that you try to substitute that particular word with your own word and do not try to plug in the options that are given to you, क्योंकि सारे options first time में बिल्कुल correct लगेंगे. Moving on to the next one, which is argumentative passage. Now, generally हम argumentative passage सोचते हैं कि ये कुछ ऐसा है जहाँ बहस हो रही होगी, दो लोग होंगे साइड में, but नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है. Actually, argumentative passage is convincing or persuasive style of writing. वो कैसे हो सकता है? Well, persuasive style means जब कोई अगर बहस करता है, what are they trying to do? They are trying to convince you that their point is right. So this is strongly opinionated. So instances, justifications, facts for a particular stand that has been taken. So for example, if the author believes कि ये जो दूसरा author है, that author has been he's not a very nice author and he's been wrongly accepted by the people that he's a good author. So he will continuously write about things that will blame him or make the other author a wrong person, and it will make the others feel maybe a little foolish to have believed that author and fall for what he has written. So justify करने की कोशिश करेंगे, facts देंगे, instances देंगे कि ऐसा होने से भी वो गलत हो सकता है या ऐसा भी उनको लग सकता है. So there's a lot of opinions that come in over here. So advertisements, reviews, complaint letters, these are examples of argumentative passage. So if you just simply pick up any complaint letter that you have received of late, या आपने कभी किसी को कोई complaint letter लिखा है, उसमें what have you tried to convince? You have tried to write, चाहे जितना भी strong language हो, ये convince करने की कोशिश की कि मेरे साथ गलत हुआ है, इसलिए मैं ये complain कर रहा हूँ, या ये person गलत है. So your writing style has to be such कि आप किसी को persuade या convince करने की कोशिश करें कि उन्होंने आपके साथ गलत किया है. So this is also a style of argumentative writing. So you can ace such RC passages by understanding the author's point of view. यहाँ पे अपने पर्सनल इमोशंस को इंटरवीन मत करने देना और ऑथर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू को समझने की कोशिश करना। सो अग्री और डिसअग्री टाइप के क्वेश्चंस इस टाइप के पैसेजेस से बहुत ज़्यादा कॉमन है। It also uses a lot of continuity ways like in the same way, likewise, additionally, जो ऑथर के सेम आइडिया को आगे लेके जाने में हेल्प करता है। The tone and the organization of the passage also helps to answer indirect or inferential questions. So indirect question मतलब जिसका आंसर directly passage में नहीं मिलेगा, like title based questions, main idea kind of questions और inferential questions. Inferential questions are those questions जिससे आपको conclusion derive करना होता है. Best way would be to read the last passage and understand it completely and then choose the option that paraphrases or contains the maximum information from the conclusive passage of the conclusive part of the passage. Analytical passage. Now, a lot of you will think that analytical passage is quite similar to informative passage, but यहाँ पे जो difference आता है वो style of writing में है. जैसे group discussion और group debate में होता है. Group discussion is when you are simply discussing your point of view and others' point of view. So both of the parties are open to each other's opinions and points of views. But when it comes to debate, both the parties try to convince each other about their point of view. So analytical passage में there's a lot of presentation of information. So pros and cons दोनों दिए होते हैं particular product या decision या service के बारे में. Controversial court case जैसे होता है वो analytical form में होता है और राइटिंग इन न्यूज़पेपर. सो न्यूज़पेपर में जो डिस्क्रिप्टिव आता है वो हमें पढ़ के ये लगेगा कि अरे ये इसके साथ है या इसके साथ नहीं है. सो दैट्स बेसिकली द एनालिसिस ऑफ एन एक्सपर्ट, बट इट्स नॉट जनरली, इट डज नॉट एंड विद एन ओपिनियन. सो गुड स्ट्रैटेजी वुड बी इफ यू कम अक्रॉस कॉन्ट्रास्ट वर्ड्स. यहाँ जैसे मैंने बोला कि पिछले वाले में आर्ग्यूमेंटेटिव स्टाइल में बहुत सारे कंटिन्यूटी वर्ड्स होंगे जो उस आइडिया को सेम डायरेक्शन में लेके जाएंगे, बट एनालिटिकल पैसेज में बहुत सारे कॉन्ट्रास्ट वर्ड्स होंगे जैसे हाउएवर, नॉनदलेस, डिस्पाइट, जो कि आइडिया को ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में लेकर जाते हैं. फोकस ऑन द रेलेवेंट पॉइंट्स एंड डोंट फोकस टू मच ऑन माइनर डिटेल्स. सो इन्फरेंशियल क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम सच पैसेजेस इज वेरी कॉमन. इन्फरेंस बेस्ड क्वेश्चन वैसे भी कैट पैसेजेस में बहुत ज़्यादा आते हैं. एंड you can read the latest happenings and discuss it amongst your friends to analyze. So what are your thoughts on maybe a new product launch, or maybe अगर हम Google से Chat GPT में switch करें, what are the pros of Google, what and the cons of Google, what are the pros and cons of Chat GPT, जो कि आपको एक analytical point of view develop करने में help करता है. जब आप ये करना on a regular basis start करोगे, it will become easy for you to even analyze passages. एब्स्ट्रैक्ट पैसेज. नाउ ये जो है ये काफ़ी लोगों को, स्पेशली दोज हु आर नॉन रीडर्स, उनको डिफिकल्ट लग सकता है बिकॉज दीज आर नॉट रिलेटेड टू वेरी अकेडमिकली इंक्लाइंड और वेरी फैक्चुअल पैसेजेस. दीज आर मोस्टली रिलेटेड टू सब्जेक्ट्स लाइक फिलोसफी और नॉन मटीरियल कॉन्सेप्ट्स लाइक क्वांटम और समथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट, जो कि या स्पिरिचुअलिटी जो थोड़ा समझने में या एक नॉर्मल इंसान जिसका माइंड उस लेवल पे प्रोग्राम्ड नहीं है उनको समझने में प्रॉब्लम हो. In case में you don't have to get worried about the fancy language or the technical language. You need to focus on the tone and structure of the passage. So structure is the way of writing. Now you need to identify where has a new idea been introduced, where has an idea been developed further into a good plot, where has a conclusion started for, what is the kind of examples or evidence that is being produced. So this is basically the structure, that it starts off with an idea about this or a brief description, followed by evidence on the following things, and then concluded by the point of view or the opinion of, or by presentation of facts of. So once you understand this, it becomes easy for you to explain it and also answer the questions. Look for the paraphrase in the options that you have to choose, also the options that you need to eliminate. So such passages may appear complex and they might demand a second reading to understand their essence. So don't worry, because if you focus on accuracy and if you have the time, you can give it a second read. But अगर आपको लग रहा है कि ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा time ले रहा है, that will only happen if you don't start practicing from now. Then you can also skip this passage and come back to it later. There's an option called mark for review. that you can use in your CAT exams, and you can come back to these passages only for your sectional time. So verbal ability, reading comprehension का जो sectional time है, उस time के अंदर आप वापस आके इसको answer कर सकते हो. Some pro tips. So basically the expected range of passages is 3 to 5, but actually 6 भी जाता है क्योंकि आजकल para jumbles, passages and para completion को छोड़ के CAT के पेपर में और कुछ नहीं आता. Even though you can expect vocabulary based questions in these passages and even grammar based like sentence correction with a sentence from the passage itself, you can expect these kind of questions. So syllabus आपको पूरा cover करना है. You need to focus on your ability to comprehend, understand the context, analyze the argument, and then draw logical conclusions from the passage. Practicing with a variety of RC passages from different sources will help you. So, agar you really love history, then stop reading history related books or history related articles. And if you hate technology, start reading more of that so that you get accustomed to reading any kind of material or genre that comes your way. Just because it's boring, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप exam में skip कर सकते हो. So it's better to put yourself through that now. Also, what you can do is practice reading 6 to 8 passages in one go, reading and solving. Lot of students what they think is कि 2 passage रोज practice करेंगे तो हमारा RC का practice अच्छा हो रहा है मैम. But actually you need to practice 6 to 8 passages ताकि तुम्हारा focus and span of attention बना रहे. And when you are reading these passages one after the other, your accuracy does not dip, because there are two things that you need to focus in order to solve an RC. One is accuracy, so your accuracy should go up, and the other is time. So whenever you're practicing RCs, make sure that your accuracy is improving, that is you're getting more correct answers, और जो time आप ले रहे हो उसको solve करने में वो घटता जाए. So time and accuracy should be inversely proportional. If you're taking more time, then obviously accuracy has to be more. But if you're taking less time, then the accuracy has to also improve or increase. I hope this video helped you, but also if you want to crack your dream business school, and especially in IIM or any top business school in one attempt with a personalized approach, because guidance और mentorship बहुत important होता है. आप अकेले एक जंग नहीं लड़ सकते. You need a team, you need a community, you need a village to support you. And in order to do that, you can just click on the link in the description and get in touch with us. But apart from that, if you have any other doubts with respect to your CAT RC preparation, you can definitely let me know in the comments below. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed learning in this video. See you soon. All the best.